Turning to Devin there, was that the plan from the start?
He was available, so felt like we could use him when we were going to use him, particularly where the game was.
Was there any hesitance in turning to him with runners already on base, given that he's not used to pitching in those type of situations?
He's done that before, and he handles himself well off the mound. So if there was a potential barn, he's really good at coming off the mound and handling that. But he also has good confidence right now. I think I can kind of feel that in the middle of that Louisville game. It almost feels like he's, him again. I think he feels that way, which is more important than he feels.
How important was it? Go ahead.
All the way into this, how important was this for your guys to get this result?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of different ways. I mean, him coming up short, felt like we were a little bit snake bit yesterday in terms of hitting the ball and not really having anything to show for it. And particularly Barzy. I mean, Barzy continues to have good at-bats with no numbers following it, but they'll come at some certain time. But just for the kids, their spirit. We're going through a period where he was a tough one against Mississippi State and a tough weekend against Georgia, and having a hard time with these guys, and rightfully so. They're a good team, really good team. But we won, and now we'll just play for it.
What did you see out of JD today?
No hesitancy. I think the first inning was indicative of who he is and what he did. He set the tone. He set the tone for the team. He just needed a good inning right there, and then he followed it up with doing a nice job, kind of like we mentioned with Futrell, of just commanding the fastball. So I like when he's out there rolling like that. I mean, he's done that several times this year, obviously on Tuesdays, but he needed to do it on a Sunday, and he did. He backed up his team.
Is there any sort of relief coming in winning this game after a stretch of losses in the SEC?
I'm sure. I mean, you need to feel good about yourself, and the only thing that does that is winning baseball games. So, yeah, for the boys, we just needed to win, and we'll have to continue to do so.
Does beating that team in particular count a little bit more in that way?
Well, I just think the situation as it stood right now was meaningful, just from the standpoint of where we are. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good team. And you beat them, you got to pitch really well, you got to defend the baseball, and you got to do something offensively, because typically they're going to score a decent amount of runs. So yeah, it was just a big win for the boys.
You had Asher Sullivan's brother in the dugout with you. What went into that, and what did it mean to have him there?
It's just tough, obviously, 4 days for that family and that community. It'll be a tough day today. I just was laying in bed last night and thinking about if there was anything that personally we could do to help a healing process just in the short term. And so I got back from dinner with Maggie, and I just texted Jimmy, and it was late, it was about 10:30, and I said, listen, I know this is small change, but can we take Declan for the afternoon and just bring him over to the ballpark? And he texted me right back and said, let's do it. So I picked him up right after batting practice in four-wheeler and brought him back, and he had a great time. I'm happy for the kid. This is probably really good for him right now in so many different ways. The family's been through a ton. Declan himself has been through a ton. Now we're facing a situation that's difficult. So sports sometimes can bring relief to families and people in times of need, and